Airtable is a powerful database app that's becoming the backbone of many no-code apps and team workflows. Notion is also powering the daily work of many companies and teams. Whether you're managing inbound information, coordinating between teams, or building your next app, you can make sure that information is being updated between the two apps using Zapier. In this video, we're walking through how to build an integration between Notion and Airtable so that when you create a new row in Notion databases, it updates in Airtable. I'm going to show you how to set this up in the Notion to Airtable direction, but it's entirely possible for you to do this the other way around by reversing the order of the steps. Why is that helpful? If you're building a no-code app or dynamic website that uses Airtable as its central database, then you might want to update the rows in the database from information your team gathers in Notion. In the opposite direction, if changes are made to your Airtable database from your website or app, then you might want to update rows of data in Notion so that your team can follow up on support tickets, engineering issues, potential leads, or hiring.
Welcome to my Notion workspace. Here I have a database which reflects exactly the same columns as my Airtable base. Here you can see the columns are name, URL, tags, and also some extra tagging data. Exactly the same is set up in Notion. Make sure that any tags that you use are the same capitalization and spacing as it's case sensitive. This base in Airtable is embedded on a WordPress website. This is a website that I made earlier which helps people find tools to start a new community. Your website might be built on something other than WordPress. Here, this is just a simple embed, but you might be displaying this information coming off of Airtable using custom methods or CSS. I found this cool resource, and now I want to add it to Notion so that it can publish onto the front end of the website. I've already put in the URL, the name, selected which tag it is, and added some other tagging data. Let's see how to set this up in Notion before setting up the Zap. To get things going, let's select Settings and Members, Integrations, and then develop your own integrations. This tab will open up, and you want to select Create New Integration. Give it a meaningful name. Here you can add a logo, so if you're building lots of integrations, then you can distinguish between them. Make sure that you have the right associated workspace, and then hit Submit. This will generate an internal integration token. We're going to need this later, so keep this page open, and for now, hit Save Changes. Go back into Notion, and now we need to allow that integration to have access to this database. To do that, we need to open this as a page, and press Share, as if we want to share it with a team member. Click Invite, and then select the integration that you made earlier. Great, now we've got everything set up in Notion. Let's move over to Zapier. In Zapier, let's create a new Zap. Let's give it a meaningful name. This is Notion to Airtable. The trigger for this event is Notion, and the trigger event is a new database item. Once you've selected that, hit Continue. Next, you'll be prompted to sign into Notion. This will give you a pop-up window and will ask for the internal integration token that we created earlier. Move this somewhere where you won't forget it, go to My Integrations, and click Show, and then Copy. Back in that pop-up, I can paste that into the box, and we're ready to go. Back in Zapier, everything is well, so let's hit Continue. Next, I need to select which database I want this Zap to access. Here you can see the Notion to Airtable database. The name here will be the same as the table that you made back in Notion. Hit Continue. Now we've got to test the trigger and pull some information off of that database. Here you can see that it's got the URL and all the tags and the name. Hit Continue, and now we set up the action. We want this to update in Airtable, so let's click that and select the event. Select Create New Record and hit Continue. Next, you'll be prompted to sign in to Airtable. I already have, but if you do and it asks for an API key, you can get that from Airtable by going to your settings in the top right corner of the account. Back in Zapier, hit Continue, and then select the specific base and table that you need. Here I'm going to select Build a Community, and the table that I need is the toolbox. Now this shows me all exactly the same fields that are in my Airtable base. I'm going to need to fill them with the information coming from Notion. In Name, let's show all of the options that we have and select Name. In the URL, I need the URL, showing all the options. I click URL. Next, I need to add the tags. So diving into Notion, I can see that I have the tag for frameworks and canvas. And also for this final set of tags, I'll need to find them as well. Once all your fields are matching, hit continue. So far, everything looks good. And now let's test the connection between Notion and Airtable. A record was sent to Airtable just now. If it has, then let's check in Airtable. And here you can see CloseKnit has been updated and added along with the tags. Let's see if that looks good on the website. Let's refresh the page. And voila, a newly updated website pulling information from Notion. We're not quite finished yet. Head back to Zapier. And now that we know everything works, let's turn on the Zap. After closing the pop-up, you should see that this button has changed to green.
And that's how you update Airtable from Notion. Remember, you can update Notion from changes in Airtable by using Airtable as the trigger in the first step and Notion in step 2. If you have any questions about this integration, then comment below and one of the lovely team at Zapier will be right with you. If you want to reach out to me about how to get the most out of Notion, then you can reach out via Edu-Creator.com. That's edu-creator.com. Or visit my YouTube channel by searching Serge Hunt and watching some of my Notion tutorials. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button below, and if you're new to this channel and like this kind of content, then consider hitting the subscribe button if you haven't already. Thanks for watching.